Tucanans are a very artistic tribe whose talents include basketry, wood and stone sculpture, and mask making. They also make bark cloth, which is a natural fiber, paper-like fabric, which they often paint on. This fabric is usually incorporated into lots of things such as masks and dolls, as well as painting on it like canvas or paper. They are one of the few Amazon tribes that paint just for the joy of painting as opposed to painting as decoration on a useful object. They have many different traditions, two of which are for a girl's first menstrual cycle and when somebody dies. There are many different variations of this tradition. When a girl has her first menstrual cycle, she is placed into isolation in a small room, and no one, other than herself and several other older women who are supposed to educate her, are allowed to visit the girl. It lasts for about 6 months. In the other one, only her mom can visit with her, and she stays isolated for 2 to 3 years. During her isolation, she is taught about the myths, heroes, and the history of the Ticanas. She is also taught about her future responsibilities as an adult member of the tribe. After which the ceremony starts, and the 4-day ceremony is only done during a full moon. The girl is given a drink that makes her slightly drunk or numb, and her father pulls out all her hair out of her head 1 strand at a time. It is said that if she can bear this, she can stand the pain of childbirth. Afterwards, there is much dancing and celebration. Most Ticana today no longer do the forced time alone or the pulling of the hair, but continue with other rituals, including dancing with the masks. But for the Ticana girls that take part in this rite of passage, the pulling of hair is not the most difficult part of the ceremony. Rather, enduring 4 days of this ceremony without being allowed to sleep is the most challenging aspect of the ceremony for them. During the ceremony, the girls are dressed with eagle feathers and wear a crown that is initially used to cover her eyes, preventing her from seeing. Snail shells are hung from her belt, as this ceremony is not only a rite of passage, but a ceremony of fertility. For 4 long days she endures a loud ceremony with constant music, singing, dancing, and purification by fire. The purification consists of having the girl continuously jump over a campfire. Some participants wear huge masks, which represent mythological beings in danger. The girls dance with masked beings, which symbolize her metamorphosis into adulthood and her ability to successfully deal with the dangers of being an adult. While the ceremony begins with the Ticana girl leaving isolation, it ends with the girl being carried with a baby to the lake or river. There, both she and the infant are placed into the water, representing symbolically a final cleaning before she is allowed to wear adult clothes and enter into the world of adulthood. When a Tucanan dies, he is buried in a canoe that has a top carved for it. With this canoe, he will cross the river of death. They put things he will need in the afterlife inside the canoe with him. During the funeral, there is a ceremony in which the members of the tribe dance with masks that are covered to represent all the birds and animals that the deceased will want to hunt in the next life. This ritual is designed to make certain that these kinds of game will be plentiful for him. The mask is made of hand-carved wood on pounded bark cloth. The Ticana language is spoken by about 50,000 people in Brazil, Peru, and Colombia. This language is totally unique, being unrelated to any other spoken language. It is, however, similar to the Basque language of Spain and France, which is also unrelated to all known languages. Ticana is a tonal language. It has 5 tones which correspond to 5 levels of pitch in your voice. It is one of the few languages in the world to have so many level distinctions. Since not everybody can hit the same pitches, it is the relative distance between the toes in a phrase that really distinguishes them, rather than their absolute pitch. Before both Portuguese and Spanish missionaries began their evangelical work during the first centuries of discovery and conquest, the Ticanas believed that the world was controlled by spirits and forces that determine the course of events. Ta'i is the divinity who inhabits the world above and who gives the Ticana their souls. The most important mythical beings are the Yoi and Ipi, 2 brothers who function as cultural heroes and who confront several demons of the intermediate world and the world below. Nutapa was the first man from whom the mythical brothers and their sisters were born. Miter was a powerful shaman who conducted the first female initiation ceremony. Formerly, there were many more shamans than there are today, and they were believed to be more powerful than their contemporary counterparts. Magical power is said to be derived from the shaman's relationships with the spirits of certain trees. For the Ticana, there are 2 kinds of beings, mortal and immortal. Immortals do not die because of any inherent qualities of theirs, but because they go to enchanted places where life is eternal. Although the location of these places is known to the living, nobody can reach them because of their inaccessibility. The souls of the mortals, of which there are two, just as in the case of immortals, set out in different directions at the moment of death. One goes to the world above, while the other remains roaming around the place where the dead person lives. Since the beginning of the 20th century, there have been various religious movements. Now the Ticuna are predominantly Catholics. In personality, they are frank, honest, and full of love. The Ticuna usually go naked except for the G-string and a collar of jaguar or monkey teeth, to which is added a painted robe on ceremonial occasions. They wear their hair cut across the forehead and hanging down full length behind. They wear armlets of bright-colored feathers and paint and tattoo their faces in various patterns. The Ticuna society is organized in clans and moieties that govern daily behavior. They are identified by specific names of birds, insects, mammals, and plants. Previously, the personal names of Ticuna were representative of the clan to which they belonged. Today, relations between Ticuna and women and white men have resulted in individuals who do not have a clan. The basic rule governing the tribes is based on clan exogamy. Marriage must take place between members of different societies. Wives are obtained by purchase. Formerly, the preferred form of marriage was for the maternal uncle to marry his niece. The most common form of marriage today is between people of the same generation. Cross-cousin marriage, which was permissible under traditional rules, is considered incestuous by the Catholic missionaries. Polygamy, which was practiced frequently in former times, has now become monogamy. Children belong to their father's clan. Nuclear families tend to live near others to whom they are related, either on the maternal or paternal side. Inheritance is from father to son and from mothers to daughters. Divorce is not common among the Ticuna. The care and education of a child used to be up to their parents. Education was taught through activities related to practical situations. Nowadays, children go to school where they learn how to speak the language of their country, either Spanish or Portuguese, and the Catholic doctrine. Some things they make a living from are sale of the curry poison, called the Ticuna poison, for use upon bull gun arrows. In this manufacture, they are recognized experts and hold the process a secret, although people know that steichnos, catacilina, and coccolusa toxicophora are two of the ingredients used in it. The poison is kept in cane tubes or clay pots of their making, and is the chief object of intertribal trade throughout the upper Amazon region. They also gather the forest products such as wax, rubber, gum, and sarsaparilla for sale to the traders. The Ticuna used to live in communal houses that were distant from each other and located in the middle of the jungle in a place called terra firma, which is land that is above the flood line. The houses were large and an oval floor pattern, and a middle section where ceremonies took place. They contained various nuclear families. Communication between the houses was by foot trails because going by river was not very useful. Later, the houses were gradually replaced by rectangular houses with two sides, roofs, and no walls. The new houses stood detached in the periodically flooded Amazon River area and were occupied by nuclear families. Now Ticuna houses have two well-defined spaces, the living quarters and the kitchen. The house is subdivided into three areas. The first is a raised platform and pillars, which protects the residents from possible flooding and from animals. The second is defined by the floor of the platform and cross beams of the roof. The families usually sleep under mosquito nets. In the third section, the Ticuna place boards over the traverse roof beams, where children occasionally sleep and special items are kept. The kitchen can be a continuation of the house or a small shed. Both the change in settlement from terra firma to land subject to flooding and the substitution of one-family houses for communal houses have substantially transformed the Ticuna way of life. The Ticunas have learned how to make good canoes, have attained new techniques for fishing in large rivers, and have acquired new agricultural practices. With the start of more cattle ranches, it destroyed the land that was available for hunting and farming. Nowadays, the majority of Ticunas live in villages where the population varies between 70 and 1,500. Brazil has the biggest villages.